Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up?
Had a little something in my throat. No diddy.
No diddy.
Welcome to episode 40 of the Longhouse Gaming Podcast. It's been 40 episodes already, fellas.
It's crazy.
4-0.
Insane.
Started in December, and here we are. Already got 20 people up in here rocking. Listen, guys, we got two of my favorite people here rocking with us today. We got Fame from LV1 Gaming. What's popping, player?
Hey, listen. I appreciate you having me through, man. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. I appreciate the invite, my boy.
Classic.
And then we got, do you need an introduction, Jaffe? Probably not, but we'll give it to you anyway.
Okay. Sorry, I'm
game director.
I'm sending out your tweet. I'm sorry.
It's all good. He is the game director, game developer for God of War, Twisted Metal, a whole slew of other games. But that's what you're known for. Some of our favorite games, especially in the past. Twisted Metal used to be my jam. Love God of War. Jaffe, thank you so much for being here with us. It's a pleasure, man.
I appreciate you having me. I now know what the waiter in Boomerang felt like. So
yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but he was the only white guy in the movie.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
There was we're in an
Great
alternate
movie,
universe where Sweet Baby Inc. had to hit me up, and they said you have to get
a white guy.
Hit those diversity quotas, baby.
There you go.
EI full effect, baby. Let's go.
People don't remember the Boomerang. That was a great fucking movie. That was when Eddie Murphy was kind of like in that. One was no longer on top, but he was still every now and then making some really good stuff, and Boomerang was one of them. It's a great film.
For sure. Yeah, it was, man. So y'all, for y'all that don't watch the show, we usually like to delve into the topics, but I like to play a nice little funky beat. We have a jam session at the beginning. Nod your head a little bit, you know what I'm saying? While you're doing the dishes, cleaning up, might want to turn your headphones down a little bit. It knocks a little bit. Okay? We get crazy in here. Guys, this is episode 40. A momentous occasion. We got LV1 in the building, rocking with the Longhouse today. We got David Jaffe, gabbing in games. Gonna throw a little slander around, possibly. Intellectually. Maybe. We'll see. We got a couple of topics we want to discuss today. There's been a data breach. Again, this ain't nothing new. But this time it's with Ready or Not. Scale said he want to talk about it. Not Scale. I'm sorry. Who was that? Was that Nova?
It's me.
Nova sent me. That was Nova. My bad. Scale want to talk about there's a little petition across the pond in the UK. Because their government actually has to reply to petitions. A petition to tell these publishers, these studios, you can't close your game down. Keep it for sale in a good working state. Don't delist it. And then we got my topic. PlayStation 5 might go all in, no diddy, on the PC. New overlays, chat features, all kinds of craziness happening. I'm done here. Oh, I didn't even fade out. That was garbage. I should have faded out.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What was you going to say?
I was going to say I almost came. I was almost there, and you fucked me up.
Damn,
that had some early. Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was nice.
I'm sorry. I edged you out, man. My bad.
You did. Yeah, the early Kanye West going. It sounded a little bit like
it did. College Dropout.
That's right. That's right. I don't like Kanye's stuff. I haven't liked his stuff since what was it? 88s and Heartbreaks.
808s.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't. After that, I think he had Power on that, which was great. I like his commercial. I'm a commercial top 40 guy.
Downhill.
What's that?
Should have kept the wires in his mouth, and then he went down here with the wires.
That's a great fucking song.
Kanye.
Yeah.
I think my last album that I really enjoyed of his was Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like I love that album, front to back, no stops, no pauses.
I love the Life of Pablo though. I feel like Life of Pablo was kind of cool. Like it was all right, in the midst.
I think my favorite album from him, so like front to back. Of course, College Dropout and all that was really nice, but my Dark Twisted Fantasy was the dopest.
See, that's where I started to peel off because it started like I'm a very top 40. I don't have a lot of musical experience. I'm just very much about, very basic, but I love music. I'm just not, so when he got into that album, it started kind of going into that a bit more experimental stuff. Like the last album I liked with him on it was the one he did with Jay-Z, that full album that had Otis on it. That was really fucking good. Awesome. And then, but you gotta let them go. They're like kids. They grow up. They got to go be their fucking artist. He'll have a Vegas residency one day. I've seen him I saw him in concert. Him and Rihanna, she opened for him. And that was like in his, that was he was touring for the album Graduation. Okay. So it was kind of like he was at the top of the pop mountain. Right. And it was a good show. He took forever to get on stage. I mean, what a nightmare that guy must be. Because it was the whole idea of the show was he had crash landed. It was kind of like it wasn't like an opera or like a rock opera, but the narrative was he crash landed on this planet, and the whole stage was like a golf course of undulating mounds and stuff. But it took forever for them to put it together. And even when he was out there performing, he was like yelling at the guys, having them come out. He's like, "That's not exactly right." It's like, dude, you're gonna fucking have a heart attack, before you're 40 because you're just too high strung. But it's good show though.
Yeah, he takes the stuff very serious. I wouldn't be surprised if he sent his aide to go get him M&Ms, but they all had to be red.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's musicians in general, is what I understand.
But yeah. But how we start the show, guys, and I'll start with you, Nova. We just talked a little bit about what we've been playing and watching. Let the audience know like what's out there, because you might have a banger nobody's ever heard of, TV show, movie, game, even reading material. So Nova, I'll start with you. What you've been playing, watching, reading, whatever.
Man, the last couple of days I've been stuck in a lot of the classics that I used to like when I was a teenager, man. So lately I've been finding myself on YouTube watching me some Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Okay. A little bit of Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, and some C-Lab 2021 for those that remember that era.
Oh, that boy went back.
Bro, I love that era of content, man. So I've been catching up with that. Finally took everybody's advice and watched the first episode of X-Men 97, which it was phenomenal. Really, really good show, man. They really they hooked them up, man. They actually did them some just due. They don't seem like cartoon characters. They seem like a little bit more adults, if that makes any sense, right? And the game I've been playing was The Devil Within, Sagat still. I made it a little bit further, put another few hours into that game. Nice Metroidvania game if you guys like those. It's getting pretty challenging. I just got my butt beat for like an hour on one boss for the first time. So I got about 4 hours in, and I think I'm almost about halfway through the game. So it may be 4 hours on the next boss if
Yeah.
you guys know how those games are. So that's what I've been watching and what I've been playing lately, man.
Okay. What about you, Skell?
Been watching. I haven't got to watch too much, but I did watch this movie, Poor Things. I think it was nominated for Picture of the Year last year. Actually, amazing movie. I really enjoyed it. I think it got like an 8.4 on IMDb. Emma Stone killed it. I understand completely why she was nominated. She did her. It was moments in that movie I was like, okay, you're doing this. You killed it, killing it. So I'll watch that. That's an amazing watch for anybody wanting to watch something. That's a good one. I've been playing. I'm really hooked on Diablo, man. It got me. I'm just stuck on it. Period. I've just been playing so much Diablo. Can't get enough of it. A lot of Valorant. Ranking up in that steadily, and I played the No Rest for the Wicked. That game is sweet. I'm just gonna say that. I'm only like an hour or so in, but The main thing I gotta say about it is challenging, and that's all I'm gonna say. But that's what I've been watching and playing mostly.
All right, cool. What about you, Jaffe?
Oh Lord, well, I'm reading right here. I'm reading this, which is a fantasy book, Throne of Glass.
Okay.
But I'm also reading this book. It's like 80 pages, called Free Will by Sam Harris, about how we don't have free will.
Listen, that book right there,
yeah,
game changer. Like I read that probably like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to a book club Saturday night to discuss this, and I've heard him speak about it, and it resonated with me. And so I got the book because that's the book club book, and I'm like, oh my God, it's fucking awesome. And it's hard to read it and come away with a lot of disagreement. Like I want to read some debunking of it, because there's got to be people out there that intellectually offer up a reason why this is bullshit. Not just like, it doesn't feel right, you know.
You can watch that. There's some pretty good debates with Sam Harris, with other people who think that we do have free will or whatever, that are pretty good. But to me, like, Sam Harris just makes the most sense when it comes to that. Plus, whenever you listen to neurologists or people that are within that field, will tell you pretty much the same thing that you read in that book, and it's crazy.
Highly recommend it. And then, you know, I'm watching, I watched the first, I watched the first half of Fallout episode 1, and most people who watch a show like this have probably already seen it, because most gamers have watched it. But, you know, I got to the end of when all the shit goes down in the vault, and she's like, okay, I'm going to go do some shit. And I loved it. I was like, this is fucking awesome. But then we were watching it last night, and all three of us looked at each other about, you know, when it got to the Brotherhood and all that stuff. And it was just kind of like, are you guys liking this anymore? And we were all like, it's kind of boring now. It's almost like and I'm going to finish the first episode, but that first half was so compelling. And then it just started to feel like any other sci-fi, you know, show. And I was like, you know. But I'm watching that, and I've always been obsessed with my TV diet is weird to a lot of people. Like I'm watching the last season and loving the last season of The Good Doctor. I just finished watching all 7 seasons or 5 seasons, 6 seasons of Community, which I had never seen when it was on, which is the funniest fucking thing.
Yeah.
And we're watching Abbott Elementary. We watched that episode.
Me and my wife watched. She's a teacher, so we watched that.
It's so funny. Hilarious. It's so fucking funny. And you know, it's what's been really fun for me is, as not both my kids, one of my kids, and my ex. For some reason, we've never been a big TV family, but suddenly in the last 3 years, maybe since the pandemic, we're always having a show that we watch as a sort of shared family. It's really fun. I love it. But I love TV. I love movies and shit.
That's cool, man. You been playing anything lately?
Oh yeah. Well, I played about 2.5 hours of No Rest for the Wicked today. I've got a video going up on that later tonight. It's early access, so it's, you know, but then again, they are charging money for it. So it's like, how critical can you be? But it's a beautiful fucking game, amazing looking art style. I'm playing any game I can play on GeForce. I play on GeForce because I can turn up
on there.
Oh, fucking awesome! And I don't have any. I turn up all the knobs to the highest level. It's good. It might be one of those games where their visual style takes front and center at the expense of the ability to read and recognize your character in the middle of a battle or the environment. You can't quite tell what you can interact with, which leads to some problems. But overall, I'm enjoying that. I'm playing the shit out of Unicorn Overlord. I love that. Still playing Dragon's Dogma 2.
We got a fan.
It's fucking excellent. Thank you. I play so much, man. I'm Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm playing still Marvel Snap all the time. And then I just really got into Fortnite. I've played it a lot before on and off, but my kid really liked it, and I was playing it, and I was like, man, they've done so much with this game since I was engaged with it like years ago. And it just blew me away how robust it is, not just the actual core mode, but all the various modes that Epic has made, as well as the modes that just fans come in and make now. So I'm, there's so much out there. I think the biggest issue I'm having these days is letting things go and just going, look, you may only play 8 hours of No Rest for the Wicked. You may only finish Unicorn Overlord and get halfway through Dragon's Dogma 2, but there's just too much to play and I want to play it all. And I guess I would rather do that than finish things. Because I get the sense once you get half into a game, you've seen most of it anyway. But anyway, so I got, I could talk all day about what I'm consuming. I'm a big voracious consumer.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that last year I thought was like, damn, nothing could top this. Like there was game after game last year. But now, I mean, we're in April, mid-April, and it's been crazy the amount of content we've gotten. Yeah, I feel you on that. And you got to keep watching Fallout. Keep watching it.
I'm gonna finish the first episode. I'll finish the first episode for sure.
All right, dope. Fame, what you been watching and playing, man?
Of course I've been on X-Men 97. Gambit reminding us why he the GOAT. RIP, can't wait till he come back. 3 Body Problem is amazing. Buddy of my dad told me to read the books for a long time. I didn't listen. Watched the Netflix show, and I'm gonna go back to read the books now because I'm hooked. With 3 Body Problem. Playing, shout out to the MLB and PlayStation for allowing me to play MLB The Show on Game Pass. That's been a dub. I've been playing the hell out of MLB The Show. Lots of Hell Divers for real, because democracy is for democracy. And No Rest for the Wicked should be starting tonight. I hope I'm getting old, so I fall asleep a little earlier than usual. If not, I'm gonna get back on the show tonight and keep grinding. But yeah, shout out to MLB and Sony for that, man. I appreciate y'all helping out my pocket.
Well, I don't think that was they wanted to do it. I think that was just MLB going, well, you want to keep doing this? All right.
Yeah.
Yep. That's cool. I need to get back on MLB. I haven't played an MLB in a minute.
It's a great game, man. We think about the sports games, Madden 2K, like MLB. The show is so polished, dude. It's such a good game, and the fact that it's a 3rd year in a row that it's in Game Pass, and when I play it, it's like I'll play it for like 6 months straight, and then I'll drop it until next year to come out. So I'm like a month in, so I'm gonna be playing it for a while. It's really good, dude. Road to the Show it's worth it.
Yeah, I stopped playing sports games like a while ago, man, and I made the mistake of buying Madden again. Because I haven't bought it in like 5 or 6 years. Because I stopped buying it because it was the same shit over and over again. Yep, it's the same shit, and I put it down.
What else can you really do with the football?
Well, all that's true, but I'm still getting the fucking college game. When it comes out
I'm getting
year.
that.
That's fact. Goddamn right.
Yep. 100%.
It's the only way Auburn will ever win anything is if I have
it. That's how I feel about my Raiders. Oh man,
I'm a Cowboys fan. Don't feel bad, bro.
Yeah, you're right. I won't. I just finished watching the first Dune last night. That shit was good. Really good world building. God, like CGI was great. There was like really no myths in that to me. Unless you don't like slow cinematography, like cinematics or whatever. Like to me, it was fucking good though. And then playing, No Rest for the Wicked. Played about 2 hours of that. Can I start by saying, like, I think this might be. Also, I was like, damn, this shit is next gen. Like for real. Like as far as like the dynamic wind and weather that it has, the dynamic lighting that it has. I agree with Jaffe when he says like it's kind of hard to tell where your character is, and there's like a bunch of points. Like I was scrambling like the first 30 minutes, like what can I interact with? Yeah, right. I couldn't really tell. But the art style is fucking crazy, and you're gonna probably hear art turned to life type a lot with this game. But they did something like super interesting with it, and they have like the curved world feature to where like the perspective of your character doesn't seem like it's an actual top down. You can like see the horizon and stuff. In that game, man, it's crazy. It feels next gen to me.
What are you playing it on? What system?
On PC.
PC. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it came out on console today too, which was surprising to me because
Did it?
Well, yeah, I'm almost certain it did. I could be wrong, but I was looking it up and I heard people talking about PC and Xbox, and I'm like, it's early access on Steam, and I'm like, how did they do that on console? But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it didn't.
Yeah, I don't think it did. I think it was just Steam.
It's just PC, I think.
GeForce, which I guess you can play it on Xbox if you go into the browser and use GeForce.
Oh, right. But okay, so it didn't actually come out on the consoles yet.
Right, it hasn't.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And I don't really have an issue. I think when it comes to certain studios with the early access stuff, I have a little bit more faith in. Larian, I had faith in. They had BG3 in early access, and you had to pay full price for that game, which is like $60, I think, at the time. But it was an early access for 3 years. Enjoyed all 3 years of it before it actually released. So this one was like, we actually got the code for it, which was great. But I'm having a blast with it. So I have faith, like in Moon Studios, they cook. So like I'm fine with it being early access and me playing it, I guess. Plus they are really in tune, like their social media presence, like about what they're working on while it's in early access, like the MUD features, different camera stuff. There's no DLSS or FSR, no type of upscaling right now, but there will be. But it's giving me a Larian vibe where they're going to keep in touch with the community. I have to join their Discord and see how good they are. But that's what I loved about Larian, because they took feedback super seriously, and they kept the community updated a lot, almost weekly, which was great for 3 years, which is crazy. But yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll hit our first topic, man. Supernova. Oh, nope, I won't hit the first topic. I got to pay some bills. We got our board Lord Star Killer XSX01 gifting 5 Longhouse Gaming podcast memberships. Salute to you, my boy.
Thank you.
Jaffe, you said you never watched the show. I'm sorry.
I've not watched it before.
Okay. All right. So anything over $20, I have to blow the horn.
Okay.
Okay. Full Diddy, yes. and just so that everybody knows, that's why we got 94 people in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. All donations at the end of the year, whether it's super chat, memberships, all of that, and money we get from views, the merch store, all of that's going to be used to purchase gaming equipment for the our local Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's going to be, I think right now we're almost halfway towards our goal. I think we got like 2,600 out of 6,000. We have till December 5th to get that up. And y'all have been a tremendous part of this. And I thank you. But here we go. I didn't do no practicing either. So let's see how this goes. All right.
I'm just having flashbacks to being raised Jewish and in temple, and they're blowing the thing at Passover. It sounds just like that.
Yeah. Sure. Oh man, I'm sorry for bringing back those memories. Or maybe they're good memories.
No, well, let's put this: I ain't Jewish anymore. So, not because of that. I'm no religion now. It's just damn Sam Harris. See, but no, that I thought. See, now what are you doing here?
Speaking of Sam Harris, have you read? Because he's part of the Four Henchmen. Like, have you ever listened to Christopher Hitchens or?
Well, Hitchens, I'm a fan of, or I was. Well, I am, but he's Dawkins, of course. I mean, they're all. Hitchens is one of the few, at least, that I'm aware of that hasn't really said anything that I'm not one of these guys, maybe because I'm older. I was like in the 80s and stuff. This idea that is a new generation idea where someone has to agree with everything, or you have to agree with everything, or you hate them. Right. That's kind of not me, So I know Sam Harris has said some shit, and Dawkins has said some shit where I'm just like, okay. Shit. I don't agree with that, but I'm able to go, okay, well, it's like a buffet for me. It's like, well, I'm not going to take that. No thanks. But when you talk about religion or science or, you know, whatever, I'm very intrigued and usually on board with what they're saying. Certainly, Hitchens, I think, has been.
I fucking loved Hitchens.
Yeah,
man.
He was great. He was really great. I haven't read any of his books yet, although I just ordered one called from Amazon. I think it's just a series of essays. I forget what it was called, but it was his last one that he put out. But yeah, I'm a fan. Who's the fourth one though?
It's God, big bearded man.
Rick Rubin?
No, it's
kidding.
not. No.
I know.
The name escapes me, but if I know it, I'll get back to you.
Gotcha.
I was going to say Stephen Fry, but he's not part of that 4.
No, he's pretty good too, though. He's
good, though,
yeah.
All right, cool, man. So let's get into our first topic. Nova, you got that. Take us away, my brother.
Yes, sir. So Mike Straw over at the Insider Gaming reports that the developers behind Ready or Not had unfortunately had 4 terabytes of data stolen. Void Interactive was the company that this happened to. It says they have been a victim of a massive data breach. 4 terabytes and 2.1 million files in total have been taken. And there was a ransom group that has access to the data. They chose not to name the group, which I think is a great thing, man. I think a lot of people are doing this because they're getting publicity from doing this, you know? So it says that the data includes all the Ready or Not source code. It also includes what appears to be console builds and various performance tests and things of that nature. Also reportedly no personal information of the users or anybody who's been engaging, you know, with the game so far. So I'm going to go to you first, Jaffe. Since you've been around for quite some time, it's seeming like lately, at least for me, it's seeming like this is happening more and more. In the past, has this always been a thing at this high of a level of continuing to happen, or is this something new that's developing currently?
Well, I mean, it's not new in the sense that I'm trying to think. The biggest one that really made the news was over 10 years ago with the Sony hack in North Korea, and Sony Pictures, and it got the head of Sony Pictures kicked out, and Don who was it? Was Don Seal? No, I don't know who it was, but it's some what's her goddamn name? God damn it, she's a Spider-Man producer. Motherfucker. I don't remember her name, but she got kicked out because she wrote all this nasty shit in emails that got leaked about like Angelina Jolie and all that stuff. But
I remember all that
shit about Obama. Wasn't
Amy Pascal is her name.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, so it just continues. This one is a relatively small potatoes one compared to the Sony hack or the Insomniac hack. Not to shit on Ready or Not. I it's too hard for me, but I know what it is. It's a great game for people that like that, but I don't think they're at the same level of like Insomniac. But no, I mean, I think it's the new bank robbery, right? I mean, it's the way of the world, and it sucks that you have to you have to be grateful that you can live openly, because people should have an expectation of privacy. But thank God, I mean, I don't want my shit out there, but if it got out there, I'd be like, okay. But I understand, and I also wonder, it makes me wonder, should there be a law to suggest or to make it, there might be, but if your data is hacked and and you're a company, I just wonder if there should be a law that says you have to report if personal data was taken, because they said that, but they may just be saying that. They may be under no legal obligation to tell the truth, in that statement, and they just don't want to freak out their fans and freak out their customers. So I think, that's weird. I saw this amazing documentary a couple of weeks ago on Netflix called it's not the Social Network. It was the something social network, like Unsocial Network. It was about the rise of 4chan, 8chan, Anonymous, and how a lot of that led to January 6th. A lot of those people there were engaged in that. And it was just amazing to read how that over the last 20 years really has become an unfortunate, viable way to pressure people to do things with these hacks and stuff. So I'm sure we're just going to get more of it.
Yeah,
it's the way of it. But the first one I remember was like the North Korea Sony one, but I'm sure there were more.
Yeah, because it seems like it's one of these like every other week these days that somebody's getting hacked. Some finance reports are finding their way online. Whole entire builds of games are finding their way online and landing onto systems. Man, it's kind of crazy. So, say for instance, could you detail like if something was like this to happen to a company, which it keeps happening? Can you detail like how the fallout would be for the company itself that had that happen to their IP? Like it would depend, right? I mean, like if you look at Wolverine, I don't think that's going to get, as much as the Insomniac leak sucks for the team in the sense that, oh, we wanted to surprise you that Lady Deathstrike's in it, or we wanted to surprise you that, this is a cool costume, or that, whatever. I don't think anybody looks at Wolverine that is leaked and says, oh, well, now I'm not going to buy it. I mean, it's not, it's not like they revealed that it was a pixel-based 2D Final Fantasy Tactics game. It was like, yeah, it's what we thought it would be. It'll just be better when it's out. So I think it just depends on what's stolen. I think if you, there are certainly companies, like I imagine OpenAI, is that what they're called, that has the ChatGPT stuff? And I mean, that would be a company that you want to, if you're actually trying to do some damage or demand some money, that they probably would pay, because that is so competitive right now against Meta and Google and all the other companies trying to be the leader of AI. But a video game company, it's like, I mean, it sucks, but I mean, what kind of damage are we talking? I don't know. Like even the Last of Us stuff, people say, oh, the Last of Us 2 got hurt in sales. It didn't get hurt in sales because things leaked. It got hurt in sales because not to me, I loved that game. I'm not knocking it, but it got a lot of people, or a vocal minority, majority, I don't know, seemed to be upset with the Joel situation in that game. And when that leaked, they got pissed and maybe they didn't buy it, but that was going to happen anyway. It's not like that once that was out, they would have had the same response. So that's what I think. I mean, maybe I'm missing a big part of it, but that's what I've seen so far. Okay. Thank you for that. And I'm going to toss it to you next, Fame. So with all that's being said, man, do you think that this hacking debacle is increasing? And how do you think that this will affect the game when it comes to release?
And as someone who obviously hasn't worked in the side of gaming like David has, right? I think there's something that's probably always been the case. As social media evolves and as the internet evolves, we're just seeing more of it. This is a thing that's probably been happening for the longest period of time. I do think at this point, with a game like this, and this is no shade to Ready or Not as developers, right? At this point, I think you're hacking them to get clout tokens. I mean, it's one thing when you hack Insomniac and say, hey, man, we want money, or we releasing everything by your new upcoming games. With this, it's like, okay, we got information about the Xbox build. Big fucking deal. Like, what are you getting out of this besides, hey, we're the ones who hacked Ready or Not, right? Can we get a job? Because a lot of these hackers really want to get jobs out of this, right? What are you looking to get out of? You looking to, is it ransomware? Are you trying to get money out of it? I don't think that's the case with this one. It's almost like, hey, we did this. Can you fucking hire me because I'm poor? Like, I really don't understand. I don't see what they get out of this. Because again, when it came to Insomniac, first thing we heard was, oh, they're trying to get money, and if the money don't get dropped in somebody's bank account, they're gonna release the Kraken, right? And Insomniac was like, well, fuck you, I'm not giving you anything, and they let it be, right? And that sucked, and this sucks too. But at the same time, I think the people are weird in a lot of ways, because you're not getting nothing out of it. At this point, I think Insomniac kind of set the trend now. If it ain't already been before, as developers, we're not paying y'all a dime, bro. You got it. Release it. Because like Jeff said, who's that gonna stop from playing Wolverine? Not me.
Right. And it's like, why would you hack Insomniac? Their shit is always amazing. So it's like, great, you're gonna show people what they already know. It's like, you want to hack some shit company that's lying to you. That's what you want to hack. But
they won't do that. You got to hit the good guy.
I want Phil Spencer's emails as well. What's that?
Hey, listen.
I said he wants some roadmaps out here.
We're gonna start a Kickstarter right now. Let's raise some money. Forget the boys club. Forget the boys and girls club. We're going for Phil Spencer's hackers. Get after Phil Spencer's emails because I want to know what the fuck is going on over there. I want to see his emails with Matt Booty and go, "Hey, Phil, it's Matt. Guess what? We're delayed again." And Phil's like, "Yeah, no shit, motherfucker." Story of your fucking life. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, no, that's it, man. I just, it's crazy how people got time to hack stuff like Ready or Not and Insomniac, but you won't hack to get people's student loans taken away, or you won't get my money taken down, bro. Like, y'all some weirdos for doing this stuff, and y'all got this talent. Y'all hack the most irrelevant things in the world, bro. I'm trying to get my mortgage down a little bit. Like,
well, a lot of them are Americans, though. To be fair, a lot of this is not happening from like a couple of guys in Detroit living, in a I don't know where they live in Detroit. I'm just thinking. I have no idea what's happening in Detroit. I just picked Detroit because I was thinking of the water. But it's not. It's not like you've got these kind of dudes who are. Robin Hood. A lot of this is coming from Russia. A lot of this is coming from China. I don't think the ready or not thing was necessarily, President Xi going, you know what we need to do, fellas? Let's get after that fucking indie game. But but I agree with you. I think the idea of somebody doing it with their heart in the right place would be great. That would be fantastic. I'd love a Robin Hood hacker out there.
Mm-hmm. Because I think I'm actually in agreement with Fame on this one. I think that these people are solely just doing it just for the notoriety, right? So they just want to get some recognition and get some pats on the back. That's why I really liked how in the article they wrote, and they didn't name the ransom group at all. So you guys are playing these games, and we're not going to give you any type of credibility or notoriety of what games are being played. We're just going to keep it moving, do the news like we're supposed to, and just keep going. So, what do you think about it, Skellington? What do you think about the whole debacle?
In my notes, I pretty much just have these hackers and scammers are only going to get better. This is only going to increase. This seemed like practice, because it didn't seem to have an end to it unless they were fans of the game, like huge fans. They just want to play for free. I don't understand what they're getting out of this, except for, like they were saying, is a job. And if that's the case, then they should get it. But the best thing I've heard out of this is that the personal info wasn't taken. So nobody got any of their personal info leaked out. And I think that's what is making it such a different case, because if it was personal info, then they could have had some leverage or something with that going on. So that led me to believe that it was just a practice, just a thing to do to say that they can do it. You know what I mean? Because they're not getting it. I don't think they're going to get anything out of this, that I believe. So, I mean, this is just, it's becoming an ongoing issue, and I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. I think it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, you may be right, man. You may be right. Before I go to you, Viking, you want to grab some of these donos and memberships?
Yeah, man. Let me get Adidas, my boy Adidas 20 with the $5 super chat. He said, "What's Gucci and panel? What's up, level 1 and Jaffe?" He spelled
everybody
it wrong.
Everybody does, Jeff. Don't know why. Not much Adidas. I'm just on the show. What's up with you? How are you, pal?
Yeah. Thanks Adidas for the 5, man. We got Tokyo Trey. He is, man. He be up in here early, sometimes dropping 5 like an hour before the show. I'm like, damn, my boy.
Yeah. Shout out to Adidas.
Tokyo Trey just became a member of the Longhouse Gaming Podcast. Thank you, my boy. Appreciate that, Playboy. Yeah, so I think we caught up.
I'm gonna go ahead and go to you, Viking. What do you think about this whole debacle, man?
I'm in a little bit of disagreement about the Insomniac leaks. As far as now, Wolverine on one hand, I agree, like that's not going to do anything. But the whole story of Venom, all of it, was dumped out there. Plus the all the financial information, all the future plans, roadmaps, the Disney or Marvel contract was leaked. Like I think like as far as like other corporations or competitors looking at that, I think that's probably does a little bit of harm in the long term versus the short term. But as the industry grows from, I mean, the video game industry 20, 30 years ago was small potatoes. Now it's the video game industry, if you include mobile, PC, and all the consoles, it's well above movies and TV, right? So as you put a bigger target on your back for this, whenever your industry grows the way that it has, and it's mostly because of like this Ready or Not thing. They probably grabbed what they could, found out there was no personal information, and then just leaked what they had. They have like source code for the game. I think source code for the for the console ports as well, I believe. And I don't know what leverage you have for source code. Any
you can
idea?
compile and play the game if it's in a good condition.
Yeah, but it's a multiplayer only game, isn't it, for the most part?
Yeah, I think so.
Which means
yeah.
if you're on, I mean, you know, you're going to be like probably easy to find and who's playing the game right now.
Who's trying to attach to the servers?
Yeah.
But you know, the interesting about that though, I wonder because like Insomniac is big money, Sony is big money,
right?
This was the developer or the publisher that got hacked for that, or is it kind of the same thing?
I just read it was Void Interactive. I don't know if they're the developer or the publisher. Let me check.
But, okay, because it
yeah.
seems so small potatoes that I bet you. I mean, I don't know, of course, but I would imagine this one ends up being like gamers of that game or something. Like they're somehow connected to it because, you know, why would that be your target? It's like if you're chasing clout, and it's like you chose that. You know, it's you know,
hanging fruit.
Well, they probably go down a list of games or whatever, right, to see who they can break into.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, well,
you know?
it's like, you know, my 6-year-old could break into fucking Ready or Not. I'm just saying it's so down the thing that what kind of clout are you really getting? My first hack?
Yeah,
Fisher Price or something? I don't know.
No idea.
Well, I mean, the clout is Insider Gaming wrote an article about you. We did it. We did that. That's their clout. So for some people, that's enough. No, they get touched on the shoulder by a girl and their pants got to be changed. It's just enough for them, bro. It's just enough for them.
Okay. I mean, I won't lie. When I first got written up in a magazine back in the day, it was like I had to like, oh my God, the magazine's out. I had to go see it. But you get used to it. So maybe for me, being written up by Insider Gaming is like whatever. Fuck you guys. What'd you guys make up today to attribute to me, you fucking idiots? But anyway, I hear you. That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah. And then I forgot where my next point was going to be for that. Yeah. I think most of like the big targets, Insomniac, the damage was done with like some damage was done with like the gaming stuff, but they didn't give two shits about that. What they gave a shit about was the personal information. And then what was the resolution to that? I think they did get paid, did they? Like they did. I think I swear I heard that they sold it off.
We'll probably never. Oh wait, who got paid?
The hackers got paid,
but not by Insomniac.
Not by Insomniac.
Okay.
Not by Insomniac. So what happens is they know that these companies probably won't pay the ransomware, but there'll be millions of articles about it, and it'll be on the black market as the new hotness, and then you'll have a bunch of buyers for it. But yeah, I don't think there's any ransomwares out there just trying to get the Ready or Not one is weird, but just trying to get source code. They probably only ended up getting source code and was hoping for more. Or at least, I mean, that's just what we know anyway, right? We don't know. I mean, would they have to disclose that? I guess they wouldn't, would they?
I don't know what the law is on that.
I don't either, man. It sounds strange that if you're a company and you had a vulnerability and people's personal information got hacked, you'd have to let them know.
If it's not a law, it definitely should be a law, man. I should know whether my information is rolling around on the dark net, the dark web.
Yeah.
You should tell.
Yeah. One of the biggest questions here is why the fuck do you have a bill for the Xbox One? That's what it
that was weird.
I saw
right?
Series X, the PS5, okay, but the Xbox One, like,
Yeah,
who
no
in the
clue.
hell needs that?
I don't
Maybe
know.
they want to see if
That-
the game will run on a like a less powered system. Maybe handheld. Who knows?
Maybe when would this game come out? Ready or not?
The early access was out about 18 months ago, give or take.
I wonder if it was just an old build before the Series X, or can't be that.
I mean, maybe if
Yeah.
they're a small enough developer, I don't know. They said, hey, Microsoft's like, okay, we'll get you the dev kits. You don't have to pay for them, but we in exchange we want a port over to the one as well.
One.
I mean, who
Maybe.
knows?
Yeah, no idea.
Congrats to the 6 people who would play that version.
I assume it's crossplay though.
Yeah. Oh, somebody over there bugging out. Your friend's still on the Xbox One. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, that's all I got, man. What about you, Rob?
Man, to be honest, like this is getting old, man. People are out here just crushing people's livelihoods. People work on this stuff for years, man, and they pour their blood, sweat, and tears into this stuff, and then people just try to come steal it to try to sell it back to you, which is crazy to me. Just let people be great, man. Let people have their stuff, and let people enjoy playing the games that they want to play. But that's kind of coming. Everybody, I feel like a lot of people feel that way. I think this is just a small subset, a group of people that just don't care about much. They just want to just steal and get paid, And
Yeah.
and like you,
Go ahead.
now I was gonna say, like you said, man, it may just be they want the publicity and this to sell it on the dark web. But what'd you have going, Jaffe?
Well, no, I don't want to interrupt. Were you? I didn't want to. Oh, okay. I saw an article the other day that said like over half of Americans no longer think that working hard will get them ahead. And it mirrors a lot of things that my kids and their friends say, that generation say as well. I think, while I agree with you, it's a rotten thing to do and it's criminal and it should be criminal and there should be serious ramifications. I don't think the shame on you tactic really works anymore for a lot of people because the toothpaste is out of the tube in regards to how corrupt and how just manipulative the people are that are supposed to be and claim to be the good guys are. And we see the rules they break and get away with, and then they try to shame everybody else into acting like just be a good guy. That's what we all love. And it's like, yeah, but you're not, and you're just playing us all. And I think the internet has done a really good job in making that awareness more prevalent. And in that, I don't think where these guys have arrived, which is, because of that, let's just watch the world burn. I don't think that's where we want to end up. But I do think we probably have to go through some kind of evolution of what it means to be living in a capitalist society today, because we know that all the things that were bullshit in the past that we thought were pillars of our community are just horseshit. And so how do we respond to that? I think that's where some of this is coming from. It's hard to hate people who, go after big corporations that, would fuck you just as well as make an extra penny off you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I can definitely get on board with that because they're not evil or demons or anything like that. Just trying to make a point that if some people have, some livelihood that they're working on, something that they've been working on for a long time.
It sucks.
Definitely. Yeah, it does suck. But definitely, when you think about it, everything is not fair and balanced. And the people that are being attacked are definitely large corporations that, probably don't have their hands clean just as well.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, as the people that's doing it. So I can understand that. But that's all I had on the topic, though, Viking.
All right, cool, man. Let me just hit some of these really quick. Tokyo Trade with another 5 said, "What's up? Y'all here to support? You already know. Thanks for checking us out, BLAQQ Scale."
Got y'all, man. Y'all are good. Check those guys out. They do good stuff.
Sweet, man. Thanks for the 5, my brother. And then we got Adidas 20-0. Oh, shit. Jaffe, not sure why I thought your name was Jeff.
Oh, I've changed it since to Jeff. You just wasted $5. Sorry. Everybody calls me Jeff on the internet. I don't care. I thought it was funny. No, don't worry about it.
Well, thanks for the 5, man. So I guess we'll move on to your topic, Scale. You want to hit us over the head with that?
Sure. Well, over there in the UK, home of the crumpets and the beamers, a new petition has gone up. So in the United Kingdom, a petition has surfaced online pleading the government to intervene in publishers killing games by taking them offline. The official title of the petition is "Require Video Game Publishers to Keep Games They Have Sold in a Working State." That's the title. Thousands of signatures have already been signed. And this is a blurb from the UK Parliament website. It states it would require publishers to leave video games and related game assets, features they have sold to customers in a reasonably working state when support ends, so that no further intervention whatsoever is necessary for the game to function as a statutory customer or consumer right. There have been 10,000 the petition needs 10,000 signatures before the government will respond, and 100,000 signatures could be debated into Parliament. I'll start with you, Fang. We're talking in the green room. You said you miss physical media. What do you think about this?
No, as I call myself old here, I'm relatively old, I guess. But I enjoy physical media. But to be honest, I don't see why this can't be a thing off the rip, because I'm gonna embarrass myself. Okay, I played a lot of the Avengers. Me and like 7 other people played the hell out of the Avengers. Right? The Avengers, they say, all right, support is done, we're shutting down, but you can still play Avengers because you got the peer-to-peer connection. I don't understand why that can't be a thing for most games, right? Because I understand games are coming from, hey, I spent $70 on this game, and a month later it's dead and I can't play it again. I can't get a refund, right? And I guess, and of course, we're in the age of digital media and you're not owning anything. I mean, Ubisoft is telling you getting used to not owning things, right? I got a feeling that a lot of rich people with enough money will make sure this is not a thing, that they can shut things down when they want because it's their game, it's their time. But I do think this is something that should be it should be mandatory, because I don't understand. I can pop in the Avengers right now if I wanted to get back with the other 7 people and play Avengers, and we can play, you know, and they're not supporting the game anymore. They're not doing updates to the game anymore. It's all based on our own connection. That should be possible, right? I think a lot of companies have gotten too comfortable just saying, hey, we got your coins. What are you going to do? Like, who's going to check me?
Yep.
Right. And I like when people stand up for themselves. I love when little guys stand up. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, at least not no time soon. I don't think we're at that place in gaming where something like this can be mandated. But hey, if you like it, I love it. It's worth the shot.
It is worth a shot. I think it's a good look for sure. Jaffe, same question. What do you think about the UK's petition?
Well, I like how the UK has, in the last, 10 years, they've really been the only meaningful consumer watch group for new media and digital and internet. In America, it's just, it tends to be a lot easier to steamroll the consumer watchdogs. And I do think there are, whether it's, the law that went into effect recently where Apple there has to be a standard plug for cell phones. Mm-hmm. You can't just have these fucking, proprietary things, and, everything from things like that to the their new stuff about kids and buying things online and all that stuff, and what has to be revealed. I think they
did like loot boxes, and also like the new stuff with Apple and the
that's right.
They have to open the stores up to
and all that is my understanding is originated there in England in terms of the consumer groups and certainly Europe. And a lot of times it's like, well, I guess we have to deal with it over here as well, because you can't have 2 different systems, right. Blah, blah, blah. But I mean, you can sometimes. But anyway, so I mean, I like that it's a petition. I don't necessarily think it's toothless, but here's what I think. I don't think that you're ever going to get what the petition asks for, because it's not practical and it's not probable. Like, you can't just flip a switch and make games peer-to-peer, right? Because for example, the last game I did was networked, and it was some of it was server authenticated, some of it was peer-to-peer. When the server authentication stuff goes away because Sony no longer supports it, the game will play abysmally if suddenly, even if you could just go, oh, let's now make it peer-to-peer. So I don't think that, and I also don't think you can force a company to continue to support something. But I do think what the law needs to be, and it'll probably happen, but it'll probably happen coming from movie and TV stuff first. Like all it's going to take is one big fucking movie that people have purchased, and suddenly it's taken off the service. Mm-hmm. I understand that you don't own the movie, you own the license, but there should be some kind of payback where it's like, okay, yeah, we took Titanic off and you own Titanic on Apple TV, you own the license. We can't get that back for you, but what we can do is refund your money. Mm-hmm. That law seems like it could actually be somewhat more able, not in the way I pitched it exactly, because then you're like, what? So every time you buy something, we can't ever shut it down and we have to give all the money back. You know, there's got to be some balance there, but I think it's just going to take one event where one big item that everyone has is removed. And then they're like, what the fuck? And then you're going to see Congress get involved and blah, blah, blah. So I don't think it can sustain it the way it is, because we're seeing it more and more and more with these, with movies and TV shows and games. And even though I understand that you sign a terms of service, even that, I mean, I reloaded Modern Warfare 3 the other day because I wanted to get back into playing it. There were literally 3 contracts I had to quote sign or agree to, and each of them was like 12 or 14 pages of scanning down with the right stick before I even got to the box that said I agree. And there's a point where it's like, yeah, you fucking lawyer, fuck yeah, I signed it. But there's a point where I think consumer groups are going to come forward and say this is ridiculous. Like you can get divorced faster than you can sign up to play Call of Duty. Right. I mean, that's the kind of, that's the level of commitment they're asking you to jump through. It's dumb. So I like what they're doing. I don't think it's going to get done in the way they're talking about it, but the fact they're talking about it is a good first step.
I agree. It is a good first step. I'll go to you, Nova. What do you think about the UK petition?
I think it's great, man. It's always some good things coming out, like in like right to repair, or like, it seems like consumer laws are getting better over there, man. I wish we did have some of that stuff over here on the other side of the pond, man. But
bro, the EU in general is just crazy with consumer protections.
Right.
Bro. Like
it seems like they care a little bit, you know. But I'm kind of in the middle though, because I don't feel like it's a clear-cut way to solve this, because, you know, like for instance, The Crew came out, I think it was like 2014, I think. Then they took that game down, and I think some of the people did get their money back. But how long do you keep these quote unquote servers up for? Mm-hmm. You know, because some of the games, they're still supported. For instance, I got a update for Team Fortress 2 today on Steam, and that came out in 2007, man, on, you know, an orange box, Xbox and PC at the time, which was an amazing package, by the way.
Agreed.
But yeah, so like, how long do we keep these servers up? But there are other people that's trying to find like workarounds. Like for instance, we just heard that the Wii U and the 3DS servers just went down, and there was another third-party company that created Pretendo. So they have like these servers that you could then connect to and still have your online capability and stuff with your own games and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So if they're cool with like potentially, if possible, like Jaffe said, maybe it's not possible for all games. Maybe you do need some type of server authentication on some games. So it's not, you know, it's not one thing that services them all. But if they're cool with letting third-party companies then try to facilitate these other things, then I'm cool with that. So all of our old games don't go by the wayside, you know, because I'm a huge fan of playing classic games. So as long as we can keep doing that, I'm all good, man.
It's all going to be streaming in the next 10 years anyway, though. So you're never even going to have to do any of that, because it'll be like, you know, you go to Game Pass streaming and they pull something off. You've never bought it. Like you don't want to sue somebody when Netflix takes a show off. It's just like, well, that's how it works, you know?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'll kick it to you, Viking. What do you think about the UK petition?
The most interesting shit about this whole thing is the actual UK petition. I was looking up like how that shit works. Like 10,000 signatures. This is for anything that goes on that site. 10,000 signatures. You have to give, the government has to give you, it's not optional. They have to give you a formal response. We don't have that here.
Not at all.
Nah, bro.
Of course, it wouldn't be 10,000 because our population is wild. But like states should have that. Cities should have that. And and the government as a whole should have that for all kinds of issues, like, or at least to get a formal response from the government. And then, like, if you get enough signatures for it to be debated on the House floor, which I think would be phenomenal. We get to see what everybody's opinions is. But, like, when it comes to this digital shit or new age technology stuff, like, everybody in there is like 80 years old. They're not going to have a clue what to talk about. But that's the most interesting shit about this whole thing is I didn't know the UK had something like that. And I think that's excellent for their citizens. Secondly, yeah, like, I wish there was a way, and we talk about this a lot on this show. Like, when I bought a DVD from 2000 and let's just 1998. I don't know, was DVDs out by that time?
Probably not.
Yeah, but anyway, the first DVD ever made, first DVD ever made, I could pop that into my Blu-ray player, and it'll work still. Right? Like, a lot of this stuff, like, there's PS1 games, PS2 games that I can't pop into my PS5 and it just won't work. I don't understand. Like, Jaffe, can you help me understand the licensing between generation to generation?
It's usually not it's usually not a licensing issue. It's a tech issue, right? So, you know, it's you're basically, every time you get a new console, it's getting less now because they're more and more like PCs. But certainly, if you go to PS1 to 2 to 3, the architecture was different. You don't. It's not like, you know. I mean, even if you have a PC, it's hard to run something that came out in '95, you know, on Windows 10 today, because even that kind of overlay is like, I don't know what to do with this thing. But when you're talking about the hardware itself and the code speaking directly to the hardware about what gets loaded when and how fast it comes off the disk and what gets into the RAM. Well, this doesn't have as much RAM as that has. And so where are you going to put this? You know, it's not a licensing issue so much as just a need to do a port or something. But again, all of that will go away. But for right now, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, people talk about physical media not ever going away when it comes to video games. And I think what they keep forgetting, it's not like movies or vinyl or whatever. There will always be an audience for that because the way to play those things is pretty standard. You know, I can play my VHS copy of Raiders of the Lost Ark on, you know, something from RCA, and you can play something on a brand new company just made like a retro VCR. Right. But who's going to make a system that is able to somehow be a PS2 that plays games from that era that isn't Sony? You don't have the rights to do it. You know, so I think gaming is, I mean, hell, I saw today that Target announced that by 2025, like Best Buy did, they're getting rid of all their physical media, not just games, but music, movies, all of it.
I go to my local Target often. That shit's wiped out. Like, there's almost nothing there. Almost nothing. And people made fun of me on Twitter. I was like, yo, they said they're not restocking this back up. Or, you liar. Physical media is here to stay. Yeah, that's just going away, man.
No. And I looked it up and it said DVDs came out in 96.
I saw that.
Wow, bro.
What was the first I remember the first DVD I got. What was the first DVD you got? You remember?
Oh, no. Definitely cannot remember.
Nope, can't remember it. Oh, hold on. Nope, can't remember. Nope.
I remember the first not CD-ROM, but CD music CD I bought. Those things stick with me. I don't know why. Anyway,
mine was Crucial Conflict.
Your first DVD, CD music CD. Yeah.
Yep. Crucial Conflict. That was my jam back then. Smoking on hay
in the middle of the barn. Yeah. Love that song.
Yeah. Yeah. I would listen. Hopefully this gets like whatever brings Battleborn back. I don't give a shit. Make it happen.
You love that game, man.
I'll never stop.
You can get it for $5 at Five Below. They got like 18,000.
It don't work.
So hold on. With that being said, I want to toss this to Jaffe because I was watching your last upload, Jaffe, and you said you were talking about this $60 button. If you had this $60 button and you press it and you can play the game that you love.
Well, it wasn't play the game that you love.
Okay, what was it?
It was which sucks because I clearly can't communicate well. But it was basically saying, you know, everything we do is designed to bring us some sort of chemical pleasure, whether it's instant chemical pleasure or the pleasure is delaying gratification for something in the future. And I was just saying that ultimately all of the work, whether you're writing an album or you're making a game or you're writing a book or you're having sex or any of the stuff that you're doing, is ultimately about getting those chemical reactions. And I was just like, eventually we're going to get to a point where, and I don't mean just like Jaffe, it's called drugs, but I mean, where you can literally, dial in to that and say, oh, just, here's a button that will release the chemicals and it'll make you feel like you felt when you first played SOCOM. Because a lot of people are like, oh, bring SOCOM back. And it's like, that's a viable conversation to have, but a lot of them are just wanting the nostalgia they had. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So if you can press the nostalgia button 5 times a day and it dumps the chemicals in, ultimately that's what you're going for anyway. May as well just get the fucking button, is all I was saying. Because ultimately that's, we're just bags of chemicals that we're trying to get the chemicals we like on any given moment. So that's what I was saying.
And the reason why I brought that up is because I like when you talked about, all right, well, there's a lot of different experiences that's attached to that specific game, right? Yeah. So it could be like for instance, for Chaos Theory, for me, it's having fun with Skell, you know what I mean? Like way back in the day. So I think oftentimes as gamers, we think back to, oh man, I want this specific game, but we don't think about all the other things that's attached to that specific experience.
That's right. And that's why, and I always say this on my show, but I always thought when I started doing a lot of videos and stuff that people would, and I'm sure some do, I'm not fishing for, no, we love it, Jaffe, but I thought more people would appreciate a perspective that was a bit more honest about things. And a lot of it's just, I've had to come to learn that it's like people just, they just want, they want what they already think to be parroted back to them is what they actually want. And so the reason I bring it up as it relates to this is, a lot of people are like, Jaffe, you should make a new Twisted Metal, it'll print money, or Jaffe, they should make a SOCOM. Trust me. I know it was so great. And once you start explaining to them, but it's not just the game, it's the memory of the game. And it's that when you really drill down, I played this with my brother and him and I don't talk anymore. This was a time in my life where I was a kid and I felt so safe and secure. There's all this shit sitting on top of it that when you deliver that information to someone, not everybody likes that information delivered. And so they just hold on to that idea of, no, trust me, Twisted Metal will sell. I'm like, dude, no, it won't. No, it won't. There's a reason they just canceled it again. So I'm not saying a car combat game may not do well one day. I'm just saying that, I think you gotta think about like, what was it about that game that, because think about some of the shit fucking games you love from your childhood or movies that are just categorically terrible. Right? There are movies, there is no God of War without Clash of the Titans. Clash of the Titans is a terrible movie. It's got some good moments. It's got some amazing effects for its time. And it's got some great imagination, but as a movie, it's horrible. Just a stupid fucking movie, So yeah, I think it's an important thing to drill down into, I think.
Jaffe, I think you're wrong.
Okay.
On Twisted Metal. I think
you go make it.
Listen, hey, listen. Well, I'm just saying, like, because I think that cancellation, out of all the games that's been canceled in like the last 5 years, that one to me hurt the most because a live action or a live service Twisted Metal game off the heels of the show, which I think it was greenlit for season 2, it should be coming out in 25, and we see what's happening with Fallout, right? Like the Fallout series. Phenomenal and is breaking records when it comes to like selling crazy. It's on top 10 charts everywhere, every system, right? But if they paired the Twisted Metal TV show with a new live service, like think about the skins, the stuff you can have on all the vehicles or for Sweet Tooth or whatever. I think because like look at Rocket League. Those players probably want to play something new that's vehicle based, right? Like I think it would translate well. You know what I mean?
I all I can tell you is that The scenario you've just painted, though, is every live service game. It's what was the Dodgeball City or whatever, or the one that was kind of like the Knockout City, and there was the melee wrestling, really well produced game. Looked like Fortnite, but it was a lot of melee punching battle royale.
Oh yeah, they got quick.
You know, then what? Foam Stars is dead.
But I don't know. To be fair, Twisted Metal. Well, I know, but legacy.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying though is that simply saying skins and service and all, yeah, I mean that's just sort of, you know, boilerplate. But when you really get down to it, after the nostalgia juice is gone, which your mileage will vary, but it probably won't last very long. It never does in anything. Then you're left with the actual question of, can this make a compelling game in 2024? And you know, if Sony wanted to spend a lot of money and make a dark horror version of Grand Theft Auto Online, okay, maybe there. But that's not what people think of when you say Twisted Metal. They think of car combat. Yeah. And when you think of car combat, ask yourself, do you really think new gamers are going to be okay if you think about all the things a character can do in Call of Duty or Fortnite that they've gotten used to? The diving, the sliding, the strafing, the climbing, getting in vehicles, getting out of vehicles, you know, and then you think about being in a car. The fidelity of motion in a vehicle is so limited that you have to somehow get that gaming goodness from somewhere else. Now, we tried to solve that with 2012, which we kind of did, but the network was so fucked up that we could never really tell, with mode design. And we said, okay, well, the moment to moment design can't get that much more improved, only because you're going 200 miles an hour and you can only go forward, back, and turn. There's not a lot you can do in a car unless it starts to become a transformer, which we had as well. But we had modes, and what ends up, I don't know if you saw the quote from the guy who directed the last Tekken, but he was saying that most gamers today really don't want one-on-one, and they don't want, you know, they don't want a lot of complications. They want team battles. Those are always the most popular, team deathmatch, because they don't feel as responsible for winning or losing. And so there's a whole cultural change, you know, and so I'm just saying that it's like, I think when you really start drilling down to the value of these, I think I have not heard anybody pitch a Twisted Metal that really makes a whole lot of sense. And look, I mean, there is Twisted Metal. You have car combat on GTA Online. You can do a car combat thing. It's not like that's the main thing people play. So, I mean, but again, if somebody's got like I said a while ago, if there's somebody out there though that really has a vision for it, I think that's great. But I certainly can't see it.
But would you say, because I think Twisted Metal, like, we look at hero shooters today, like, a car is a car, right? But like in Twisted Metal, each vehicle or person did something unique and different. So it's kind of like its own hero shooter, right?
Oh, it was designed. It was a fighting game when it was designed. It was, when people say, oh, the first hero shooter was like something that came out in 2000. I always get so pissed at the press. I'm like, bitch, no. I'm sure there were some before us, but we were certainly before the fucking Overwatch, you motherfucker.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think you're right.
I think it appeals to people that like the kids that like hero shooters, like Overwatch or Valorant. Those kind of games. And you have the motion with the vehicles and stuff, but in essence, it is, you could do 4v4 hero shooter type car combat, right? And I think that would appeal to like a large amount of people. I just want it, Jaffe. I want it.
all I understand, and there are people out there that say the same thing. And I'm not kind of blowing it off when I say this. I'm very, very serious about it. One of the great things about games today is the ease with which it's getting so easy to make shit now and monetize shit now. You don't have to be a programmer at all. Before it was like, well, you need to know a little bit of this and a little bit of C++, you know. Now it's like, learn, you know, you're not gonna be able to do a lot of custom shit necessarily, but learn Unreal or Unity or Roblox or Unreal Creator in Fortnite and go make your SOCOM and make some fucking real money off of it. Go make your Twisted Metal. Like, how it wouldn't take you that much to do a proof of concept to see if it if it's actually viable. I played a game yesterday that somebody has out on PC, which is basically Dead Space meets Star Wars, and it's called Death Troopers, and you are a stormtrooper that lands on a abandoned Star Destroyer that they've lost communication with, and you go in, and it's like a survival horror game in the Star Wars universe. And the game itself is incredibly basic because one guy made it. It's like a proof of concept. But even that, though, was enough to go, are people into this? And enough people show up and download it and talk about it. Because the game was very disappointing. The graphics were not. It looked amazing. But if I'm somebody over at Disney, I'd be perking my ears up going, there could be something cool here. Doing some horror Star Wars video game stuff could be really fucking sweet. So that's what I love about gaming right now is that it's really easy. If you have a modicum of ambition and not a whole lot of skill, because a lot of these programs are pretty easy to use now, to make some stuff and see if people like it. And if you're right, then you can start building on it. That's what I'd say.
All right, cool. Anybody in the chat, y'all, somebody gonna make a Twisted Metal copy of what I'm talking about. No,
yeah, go do it. Absolutely.
Prototype. Yeah.
I try to go hack that source code, baby.
You don't even need the source code. You don't want the source code because it's so antiquated compared to like the way the cars drive in Fortnite. Go to fucking Unreal Creator, download that. You can have a car shooting missiles in like 10 minutes in that fucking thing.
That's crazy.
And it's already online. It's already networked. You can monetize it.
Yeah, I need to start looking that up. That's actually crazy.
That is really cool.
And I don't know if you saw, Nova, I know you were talking about the video that I put up. In that video, there was a section on kind of the latest Fortnite stuff. And I don't know if you've seen some of those visuals of Unreal Engine 5 Fortnite Creator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but, they showed it on the Unreal.
I mean, that shit is, the people that I made a video today and people were like, oh, fuck Fortnite. I'm like, no, motherfucker, pay the fuck attention. Because I'm not saying you want to go out and do the stupid little banana dance with Ninja. That's not what I'm talking about. The worm has turned. That's not Fortnite anymore. But they don't get it until it's
when they showed the woman beam up to that ship in on the man, it was amazing. I was like, okay, because I don't want to play any game that's just Fortnite. But when they showed that you can do anything in the Fortnite universe, not just what they're doing,
and it looks photoreal, it looks amazing. Yeah.
A lot of companies are definitely going to come to them to prototype and do a lot of things, I feel like, in the near future. If it's that easy, 10 minutes, you can get a car shooting some stuff. They can just bring some stuff and they'll throw it together and it'll look good.
Yeah. Fortnite's been really smart, or Epic has been in general, with doing the Minecraft and the Roblox model with making it a platform for everybody. Because, I mean, listen, my son still plays Roblox. He's 15. And he plays Fortnite like that. They just go there to hang out with friends.
That's right.
While playing games, and it's genius to make more universes or more different types.
Media Molecule is probably like every night they yell at the gods of Jim Ryan or whoever told them what they had to do to make Dreams a total shit show. Because out of all of those, Dreams could have been that for Sony.
Could have.
But they just, every time they could have made a decision that led to that, they went the opposite direction. It's like, what are you doing?
I think the first mistake was not releasing it. Like PC would have had, the PC gamers would have had a fucking field day with Dreams.
Yep. And you can
field day.
Yeah. And you have to control it with the move control. Fuck you. Once you go through the learning kit, fuck you. Give me a mouse and a keyboard, you bitch. And then they won't let you monetize it. And then you have to own Dreams in order to play somebody's games in Dreams. What a load of horse shit. Yeah. There's like it's so maddening because it was and remains such a cool piece of creation software. And at a level of sort of above the tool, at an executive level, they just shat the bed over and over. It's terrible.
Yeah, I would have loved to be in those rooms when those decisions were being made because that was asinine and crazy.
Fellas, I'll be right back. My dog has been whining. He wants to be fed. What a baby. I don't have any hands. Dog, I can't feed myself. Fucking idiot.
Go feed. Man, I guess I'll go to Fang. How you doing, brother?
Oh man, I'm living. I'm alive.
You alive? I've
think.
been wanting to ask you, man, while we sitting here, because I like to try to ask all the guests this. And I think this is a good time for me to ask you. How long ago did you start your podcast, Level 1 Gaming?
Dude, I've been all over them. When I initially started this podcast, it wasn't even on a channel that I owned. I don't know if you guys remember how deep you go back into like Xbox lore. You guys remember like there was a podcast called Tick Podcast.
Yep.
They were the first ones that interviewed Phil Spencer when he became the head of Xbox.
Okay.
Level 1, I used to write for a couple of different publications, and then we started doing our podcast on their channel. So this was we're at episode 287. So the first like 100 some odd episodes wasn't even on my own personal channel. So yeah, we've been going for a while, but as far as like building my own community, it's only been like last year and a half maybe. Yeah, but like I was on somebody else's channel, and stupid on my part back then, right? But
no, I don't think so. Like if you, I think sometimes that's smart, right? Like because like if you don't have a big online presence, you go on somebody else's thing and build a rapport with their fan base, and then whenever you hopped off or whatever, I'm sure a lot of them probably flock to you.
Yeah. We have made about a fourth of the fan base come over, but I mean, we think about it, at that time, if you guys remember the hype around, you know, that particular podcast. You know, again, they were the Xbox thing. You know, you get Phil Spencer on your podcast. You know, you're the Xbox thing. They were there for them. You know, we was kind of a side act, but you know, eventually, I had to grow my own wings and go do my own thing, man. That's why we started the website and you know have an amazing team of writers, man. Because we wanted to do our own shit.
How many writers do you have?
We just added like 3 new guys. I think we're up to like 15 or so writers.
Shit.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow, that's huge.
And that's it's a pain in the ass trying to keep this stuff together, man. But I love it. It's pros and cons to being indie, man. I would love for somebody to come through with a check, you know, but in the meantime, you know, we'll keep doing our thing and see what happens.
No, I'm enjoying looking at you from afar and lurking, and you was one of the first people that invited me onto the show. That was great.
You wasn't even in the States yet when I hit you up. I was like, "Yo, bro, gotta get you." Like you wasn't like, man, I'm not even in the States yet. But it was I had to, man. You're cool as hell, man. So I had to reach out. Funny as hell on Twitter. And we're not calling it X, Elon. Fuck you, man. It's Twitter. It will forever be Twitter, dog.
It will forever be Twitter for sure. Before we get into the next topic, but thank you for your points, Fame. I'm sorry, this covers y'all up. BT Maverick with the 10 bomb says, evening Longhouse Fame and Mr. Jaffe. Curious question to Mr. Jaffe. If he has heard anything new on his God of War games ever getting ported to PC. Would love to play those on Steam Deck. Love you guys.
I have not, no, but my guess is, and it kind of does fold into the next topic, I assume pretty well, is that it's clear that Sony is getting a lot more cozy with PC. They already have been, but certainly with the trophy announcement, I think everyone has been speculating, and I think it's pretty easy to read between the lines that they're going to have a launcher relatively soon, like Game Pass does. And so at that point, right now, you can stream pretty much all the God of Wars from PS Plus. So there may not be a native build, but you certainly would be able to play it on the Steam Deck when that gets set up. But maybe I haven't heard if there's going to be a remaster or just a port. I don't imagine there would be. You know, Sony hasn't really done that with all their PC activity. It tends to be relatively new games getting a polish versus like, let's go back and release an HD version on PC of Tomba or something, right? So, but I think eventually, sure. I mean, I think, like I said, right now you can stream all the God of Wars at this point. But I know that's not for everyone, but Sony's definitely getting into that deep, and I think it's great. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yep.
I love Tomba, by the way. Tomba was so cool to me.
I could never play it. I was always terrible at it. I loved it, but I could never get the because there was the background and the foreground, and I was just like, where am I going?
Exactly.
Oh, damn, I messed up. Lotus, I'm sorry, Lotus. Lotus did this a while ago. They gifted one the Longhouse Gaming podcast membership. Lotus, thank you, because they did it again. Boom. Another one.
Oh,
Thank you, Lotus.
Look at you, level 1. You over here getting gifted.
I got mine.
You can throw up the set now, baby. Lotus, thank
you
so
should have
much.
said nothing. He would have probably kept going until you said something.
Oh no, they cool. Thank you, Lotus.
There goes the PC for the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah, you were that close.
should have waited, huh?
That's right.
Let's see. So our next topic. Thank you for the nice little segue, BT Maverick and Jaffe. We're going to talk about. You guys saw the thumbnail. I put Afro Samurai in the place of the main protagonist for Ghost of Tsushima, because as a PC gamer, we can mod stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Afro Samurai would be lit. But The Verge came out with an article talking about what this latest installment to PC means, and you already said it, Jaffe, with the trophies, you get friends list, crossplay support. It's pretty much everything you need. Yes.
Crossplay support. I was looking at this yesterday. I thought that was, if you're meaning trophy crossplay, as in if I unlocked a trophy on 5, it registers on PC.
No, you'll be able to play with PS5 players.
Oh, you mean playing? You don't mean the trophy has cross? Okay, got it.
The trophy does have cross. As long as you sign into your account, your trophies from your PS5 transfer over to this overlay thing that they have going on.
But does it tie to Tsushima? So if I unlock a bronze on Tsushima, is it already unlocked on the PC if it was unlocked on the PlayStation?
Yes.
Okay,
should be.
It should be. That's everything that I've read outside of this article anyway, that it's pretty much just like your achievements on the Xbox app show up from whether you unlock it from PC, your ROG, your Steam Deck, or from your Xbox.
Gotcha.
But the proof is in the pudding, fellas. This PC launcher is going to happen sooner than later. And with that, I want to ask you guys, because to me it seems like probably towards the end of next year, if they have a big title that comes out. I think it might go. Hiroki Totoki is the adult in the room now. He wants the money. And I don't think he's going to leave any money on the table. And I think that if they have a big title for next year, end of next year, that it'll launch day 1 on this new launcher on PC. I want y'all to know if y'all think that'll happen. Speculate all you want. And also, do you think that it devalues? Because I heard a lot of talk about it devaluing your PlayStation box. I want to get your feelings on that. So I'll start with you, Fame.
Y'all remember that white girl from Scary Movie? What are you waiting for, huh? that's what are you waiting? I mean, honestly, like I get it. We want to sell PS5 because Sony is almost the complete opposite of Microsoft, where they're trying to sell you hardware, but Microsoft really trying to sell you Xbox Game Pass, right? So I get it. You want to sell your PS5, but at this point, what are you waiting for? Like, if I'm an investor, right? I'm broke because I ain't got no money. But if I had the money and I was deeply invested inside of Sony, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at you like, hey, I know you can get all of this if we put this game on PC. You tell me I gotta wait a year to see that money? I want that money right now. They're constantly flirting. And we hear from people in the fan base, oh, these games are never coming to PC. Well, you'll get them when they 6 years old, motherfucker. Y'all get old games. Then it's like, well, that's a third party game. It ain't first party, so it don't count. Like, we're getting closer and closer and closer. And this overlay, this honestly tells you that, hey, eventually we're gonna have this PC app, and with that PC app, you're gonna want people to download it, right? Because it's hard enough to compete with Steam. You put an app out there, and the games are like ridiculously old or something like that. You got to compete with Steam. you're going to put your games day and date now. So when that comes day and date is happening. At this point, just quit teasing it. I don't understand what you're doing. You're not going to. The people who are going to bitch and moan and cry about this, I don't think are significant enough to make you not go and do what you're doing. We hear all the time about how gaming is more expensive, how we have to raise the price of gaming, why they have to have DLC. Why they have to have microtransactions, why they have to continue to rake you over the coal and take every dime they can, right? Because gaming is more expensive. We need more avenues to bring in more money. Well, here's your fucking avenue, Sony. Put the games on PC, because I promise you, the person who got a PC and got a PS5, they're not gonna not buy the game because, my PS5 is life, and I only buy games on PS5. You're gonna buy it on PC because you have a PC, right? Because I was told everybody got this mammoth powerhouse gaming PC, right? So if that's the case, why wouldn't you want to play your games at a better resolution, better frame rate, have mods, so on and so forth, and still get your PlayStation trophies that you covet so much?
And
like,
friends,
you don't lose
all that.
in this aspect. You don't lose as a PC game. You do not, as a PC owner or a PlayStation user. It doesn't hurt you. And if you I'm a console only person, right, and I only have my PS5, what are you losing in this again? You got to come to the same reality the Xbox gamers finally had to bow down and understand. I don't actually lose anything in this, right? Someone else playing this game, probably at a better frame rate than you're playing it. Doesn't affect my experience. If I'm that goddamn peanut butter and jealous, I'm gonna go out and get me a PC and play at that same frame rate. In the meantime, it is what it is. But I really don't understand what something like stop teasing. You know, quit touching the leg and the thighs. You know what you want to do, just do it. Because what I don't want in the future, we look at $100 games. So if you got to come up with other avenues, which is make your games in different locations, I'm not asking you to go put God of War on Xbox, right? We're not asking you to do that. We're saying go ahead and put it on PC. We know that's what you want to do. There's no need of teasing. I'm getting off my damn soapbox. My bad.
No, that's good, man. That's good points. You spoke bars, man. What do you think, Jaffe?
Well, I mean, a couple of things I don't agree with. And I know you're not saying this part of it, but the idea that fans think that the reason it hasn't happened yet is because the fans have spoken and we don't want it. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. The fans the only language the fans have that makes sense to any of these companies is money. Nobody cares what you say on the internet, first off. So I hope everybody knows that.
Yeah.
They care where you spend your money. That's they don't care. I wish more people knew that. But anyway, the bigger thing though is that I don't think my understanding is it's a little trickier, even though I do think that's where they're going, because every time, and I don't think it matters if it devalues a fan's PlayStation 5. What a ridiculous! You have something better. Fuck you, you're a child. Play your game. If you're happy, play it. If you're not, go buy something you're happy with. Nobody gives a shit. But if you're Sony, every time you don't have a game being played on PlayStation that can be played on PlayStation, they make money off everything, whether it's a Looney Tunes game for preschoolers or whether it is the next God of War. Third party, first party, they're making money every time a piece of hardware or a peripheral or whatever is sold for that system. And so there has to come a point where they say the money that we're losing by not being on PC, either in the immediate term or in the long term, because we know consoles are going the way of the dodo eventually. PCs are always going to be around, at least for the most part, in some form or fashion. Is now the time to make the jump, or are we going to lose too much money in the immediate? Because if suddenly God of War 3 is day one PC, how or anything else, if people didn't buy a PS5 because most things are on PC, suddenly they're not getting their 30% every time a Call of Duty gets sold, because that's the licensing fee or what. I don't know what the fee is for that, but whatever. And so I think it's harder to say. I know they want to do it. Everybody wants it to happen, but I also think they're probably looking at the numbers and going, you know, the drop date for a brand new game on PC, there's probably some kind of financial formula where they go, if we drop it on PC day one, this is what we lose probably in licensing fees from the people who didn't buy a PS5. and are playing it now on PC, not for that game, but for all the other games that they would have bought on the PS5. And I'm assuming that they're just kind of, as this Hiroki Totoki guy who sounds either like a stripper or a new Nickelodeon kid. I love both of it. My assumption though is that, you know, he does seem to be much more focused on that bottom line than they, or at least he's implied that he is, than the people who've been running it have been in the past. And in that, he does seem to be suggesting PC is a big part of Sony PlayStation's future, whether that means day one or just a much shorter time. I don't know. Maybe they go, okay, look, 3 months, because if you really want the game, you're going to get it day one, and we can still make the PlayStation console business work for another generation with that. Right. But past 3 months, we're losing money by not being on PC or something. But it's clear they're going to be accelerating that. I mean, Helldivers we already saw, but that's, you know, service-based game makes sense. But something like the next God of War day one, I hope they do. As a fan, as a consumer, I'd much if anytime I can play a game on my PC over anything else, I'll do it because it's a better experience. 99% of it. Certainly there are bad ports, but that's not the norm. So,
yeah. Do you think with the way the console gaming market is heading, because like it seems like both of these companies, both Xbox and PlayStation, are starting to realize it's been stagnant as far as console sales and stuff. Like they're selling to the same people, and then they have to compete with these black hole games, which are your Fortnites, your Maddens, your FIFAs, like those Call games that are just Call of Duties, right? Those games that are always in the top 10 every year. Like, and most of the time, some players just play that game. That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? So do you think the mindset now is like, we have to probably expand our consumer base as much as possible? Like, of course, they're not going to put, you know, the Venom DLC or the Venom game that comes out next year, or Wolverine on Xbox, but to find a new audience on PC. Because there'll always be a business, like a console business, because a lot of people don't like to sit up in a chair or whatever. They want to lay on the couch and game. And of course you could do that with PC, but a lot of people don't want to turn on a PC, update drivers, all this nonsense that you have to do.
To be fair though, that is, I used to be one of those people.
Yeah.
I haven't updated a driver manually in 10 years. It just does it. You know, it just automatically figures out, and I go to bed and I wake up and everything's works. You know, the idea that like the PC today is what it was 10, 15 years,
totally
it's
different.
Not that experience, but no, I mean, I get that there are going to be people who always want a couch game, and I think that's great. But I think the bigger point is the industry at large, when you throw in mobile, when you throw in Roblox, when you throw in super casual shit, has proven that pretty much, hell, if you throw in, I mean, one of the most successful at a level of just sort of player retention of the last year is the fucking New York Times. Because people go there to play Wordle, and then they stick around to play Connections, and then they stick around to play the mini crossword. And it's my point being is that I get that that's not Call of Duty, but what has been proven with the last 5, 6, 10 years is that everybody likes to play games.
Yes.
But the number of people that want to sit down and deal with a challenge and learning the controls, and they'd rather watch a cutscene in a game than just go to a fucking movie. Those people, they're limited. They're always going to be kind of a small but vocal group. And I think Sony, honestly, if you're in that business, it's probably less about going, how do we get more people to play the Wolverine?
Yeah.
And versus how do we just get the kind of money that comes when you get a lot more people playing, because you're going to get some more people playing it on PC, and even if you put it on Xbox, but end of the day, the cap is still people who are willing to sit down and learn combos and, you know, deal with a controller that intimidates 90% of the world. I mean, look at this fucking thing. I love it. It's second nature to me, but that's, you know, I've been playing with this since whatever, but I'm just saying, I think the bigger picture solve is how do you continue to be the big dog in gaming when the majority of the audience doesn't want what you do, and the audience that does isn't growing, but your budgets are growing. And so I'm sure they're going to pivot to some casual stuff and try to get into that world more, but I don't really know. I'm just guessing like everybody else is, though.
Yeah. I mean, they got Marathon. I mean, they bought Bungie, so Marathon, that'll go to everybody. They got Concord, which we still haven't seen shit for besides a juicy sandwich on there. But I think I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. Scale, what are your thoughts on all this, man?
I think we're getting closer to the launcher. That's I've been saying it for a while. They need to do it. Bring the launcher. If y'all don't have bread, y'all have hella games on the shelves collecting dust, blowing it off. Like, you might as well release them, put them out. I don't understand. And I just feel like having the launcher, and I don't know if this is possible to put the entire PlayStation library onto the launcher, but why not?
Yeah, they'd have to beef up Nixus like crazy to port all that. Over. Yeah,
but take the time, because it's going to. I think all of that will be worth it on the back end, especially when you're not making money on your stuff now, and especially if stuff is just sitting. That is like rule number one. You're not going to make money if stuff is just sitting there. So if your troubles is financially related, you need to do something else. But as far as the overlays and things like that, like I always say, it's the beginning of the end of the console wars, baby. We're about to be done with those. It's just going to be launchers and have the Sony name up there, but it's coming to the end of that. I think this is a good, almost clear sign of it. But I think it's a smart move, personally.
What game, if they did the launcher, what game would you be the most excited to see within the launcher that's not on PC already? What would be a day one buy?
Day one. It's I don't have any day ones. Most of that stuff I've played or like don't want to play. But
imagine like mod support for a particular PlayStation title that you would love to have.
Damn, man. Ghost is probably a big one, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's just that one has so much potential to be so many other things and to just be beefed up and go crazy. I wish I could give you another one, man.
You could do Ninja Turtles with that shit, man. You could
the Ronin type stuff.
Yes,
yeah. I actually think they have a game or a movie of that coming soon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Ghost may be one of the top ones.
Okay. Nova, man, what are your thoughts on everything, bro?
Man, this seems to be like the way that it's going to go anyway, because we talked about a little while ago that the PSVR 2 was coming to PC and it's getting PC support, right? Mm-hmm. Also, it's going to be a good look, man, for people like me who hasn't gotten a chance to play Ghost of Tsushima, and now I get to play the director's cut with upscaling.
I'm so jealous, bro, of you.
So that's gonna be awesome. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. So I don't know, man. Maybe I can play it well because Suicide Squad had my PC in the chokehold, my boy. So we'll see. We'll see how well I can play it, man. But no, it seems pretty cool. They're having the haptic feedback as well added to the PC support with this thing. So man, it seems like the next things to come is some more games to come. But I don't think that they're gonna be dropping their games just straight day one, not anytime soon. So probably like Scale said, if they have like a backlog of games, which we know they all do, they do. They got a few backlog games that they can just drop, to get some more opportunities to get some more spins out of the same content that you already have just sitting on the shelf. It just makes sense. So it'll be helpful for them in the long run, man. So,
Sly Cooper would be a day one for me as well. I'm sorry, I just really love Sly Cooper games, man. Like,
wait, you would do what day one for Sly Cooper?
Well, just if when the launcher goes, we're just saying what we would like to be on there day one.
But which Sly Cooper?
Any of them, honestly. I like them all. The first one was good. Second one I like all of them, honestly.
I mean, you can just go and type PlayStation 1 browser emulator
Oh, don't get me wrong. I know what I can do.
You know, I mean, that's the other thing. It's so crazy that I'm playing PS1 and 2 games in my browser window on a lunch break, and I'm playing these fucking things that were, you know, are you fucking high pipe train? It's Dead Space 2 is coming. I'm like, yeah, I know it's on my third tab that's open, you know. So, but sure, yeah.
That's nuts. I didn't know about that. Well, I might be selling the 7 Seas tomorrow.
Dude, go fucking Google that. It's insane.
It is.
I didn't know they had it in the browser.
Browser.
That's crazy.
I'll send you a link right now.
No diddy.
I was playing some Tin Shoe the other day.
That's dope.
Assassin.
Let me get this super chat real fast.
And you know what's strangely
go ahead.
remains compelling is that Bruce Willis Apocalypse game. That's still pretty fun. That holds up.
Yeah.
See,
I've never played that.
I mean, yeah. All right,
That's
join the
crazy.
chat.
you go back a lot and play old games. Like you even talked about that Zombie Ate My Parents on SNES.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Yep.
Neighbors, yeah.
That game was tough.
Crazy.
I seen that speed ran. I was like, I would have had no idea about
I tried to play it recently, got clapped, bro. I turned it off in like 10, 15 minutes, just like Jaffe said in the video, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
It's tough.
But hey, before we get to the super chat, we got 133 people out here watching. Thank y'all for rocking with us today. If you like what we're putting out, hit that like button, hit that sub. Come on, we're trying to get to 2,000, man. We're trying to get to 2K.
Please and thank you.
Organically. You know what I'm saying? Love it.
Listen, shots fired.
No. Stop it, face.
There you go. I just sent it to you in the chat. So
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm checking that out today. Spartan661 with the 5 said, let's have some fun. Games are fun. Games are made to be fun, knowing that there are multiple outlets that don't show the facts. Come on now, Spartan661. $5 super chat. Thank you, my boy. Games are fun. They're supposed to be fun.
you think he's annoyed that you're not going to take the bait of the last sentence of that chat he just paid for?
I'm not going to take the bait.
Well, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I'm just saying it's interesting that it's one of those comments that you're kind of like, you probably want to he wants you to ask him about, but at the same time, it sounds like you don't fucking believe him. So it's like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just not going to say anything.
No, I believe him, but that's a whole 30-minute conversation for me to rant about.
I know. It's like this idea that there's like this big conspiracy and stuff. I mean, I don't know. The gaming media, what are you going to do? I mean,
I see it sometimes. I ain't gonna lie.
Who do you think is the most irresponsible outlet of games?
Oh shit! As of late,
yeah,
it's not LV1Gaming.com. Shameless plug.
I think there hasn't been very much coming. I think they cleaned up quite a bit. I don't know who was working on their socials or who was working on their website. IGN had mistake after mistake after mistake for a while. That was like Fame. Do you remember that? That was like a 4-month period, bro.
Yeah, they were leaving off. You mean like they were leaving? Like it was like it'll show like a multiplayer game. It'll say coming up the PlayStation and Nintendo, and like for a month straight, they would leave off the Xbox. Like I know people were really upset about that for a while.
And then there was another case, like in between that, it was just like even like the Xbox account, I think, commented like how to unsubscribe from Game Pass. Just a whole article about it. Like, and they dropped that.
Yeah, but to be fair,
yeah,
IGN was doing that for every subscription service. It was how to unsubscribe from PS Plus, how to unsubscribe from Netflix, how to unsubscribe.
They did not do it. I did
SEO
research.
Stuff.
It's SEO stuff.
It's like I could write an article right now and think about if PlayStation can announce a game right now, right? That we know with first party PlayStation. I could write an article and says, is this game coming to Xbox? Or if Xbox releases a game, I can write an article and SEO the F out of it and say, is this game coming to PlayStation? And it's going to hit. It's all SEO. It's all about money. So that's why they make those articles, because I guarantee you there's thousands of people asking that question.
Yeah, it won't let me post links, but I just posted the one that IGN wrote of how to cancel your PS Plus.
You posted it where at?
Well, I'll give it to you. I'll send it to private because I can't post it for everybody.
Oh, you're right.
I got you.
Because last time that I saw it was let me see, when did they write that? Yes,
2012.
This was 2023.
2023. Okay.
Yeah. So December 12th. So this was after the debacle, because what they did have, they had an article about PlayStation, about like the whole, like everything about PlayStation. And then at the very end of the article, it stated, how to cancel it. But the Xbox one, it was just a full on article, kind of similar to this one. So I think this was after the fact. December 12th. I'll go back and look and fact check myself.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not defending any of these guys. I'm just saying that I think maybe I push back a little bit when a lot of the internet community seems to think there's some kind of conspiracy. Let's put it this way. My last game for IGN got a 4 out of 10. Okay. If we could have paid for reviews, we would have.
Right.
It never was a thing, and so it's not to say that there aren't people that work there that may or may not have the same level of scruples that we would like, but I've never seen anything like a lot of fans accuse these sites of. That doesn't mean I support a lot of them either, but I'm just saying I think it'd be nice to get some proof of that.
Well, most recently, I could go on and on about this because I'll be digging into them. So the most recently, Hi-Fi Rush came on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Right? There was 2 news articles that claimed they never played it. They claimed that, you remember this, Fane?
Yeah.
They claimed they never played it, right? And then, amazing on PlayStation 5, right? And then I dug up some of their old tweets. They actually played it, right? Didn't like it. And then it released on PlayStation 5, article, full-blown, same game.
Same writer.
Same writer. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Did you bring that to his attention?
Yes, I did.
And what did he say?
I'm getting threats now.
From who?
He never showed. So, yeah, I mean, I see it quite often. And it might just not be one, but it's out there. And it's crazy to me sometimes.
I just don't have high expectations of most of these people. If you're talking about Gene Park, if you're talking about Stephen Totillo, Brian Crescente, okay, that's different. But most of these guys are, jammed into a room with 4 or 5 or 6 roommates trying to make a living in San Francisco who really want to work in the game business.
Yeah,
it's not like they're Woodward and Bernstein. It's like, come on. Not to say that should be a forgivable offense. I'm just saying that my expectations are so low anyway that sometimes I'm just like, because they're games journalists, dude. What do you think?
Right.
But there was never any payola though. I will tell you that. I never saw any of that. Because I would have used it.
Yeah, I'm sure there isn't. I'm sure because Ziff Davis, I think, owns IGN, right? Sometimes it depends. Like you see it with news outlets all the time. They will not cover a story about if they're getting advertising dollars from somebody. They won't cover a story about them, right? Not to the level as you would think with journalistic integrity, right? And we see that time and time again. No matter what news outlet it is, it's a business.
Well, and there was just I was surprised by this that Microsoft was fine. I didn't believe this. My chat had to point it out to me, and I was like, "Really? Are you sure?" And they were right. That there was that whole Microsoft Xbox thing a while ago where they were paying people to promote their shit and they weren't disclosing it. And so the FTC fined them, and now there's like a law on the books. It's like, if you don't do it, you're going to get a fine. Right. So, I mean, they literally can't, unless they are okay getting caught and paying money to be that, that, what's the word? Corrupt. But I don't know.
We could go on for about 3 hours about this, Jaffe. Let me get a super chat in here really quick. Just got the one. Yep. Mo De La Garza says gaming journalism is full of journalists who don't play or like to play video games. Could be.
I will say this, if you don't mind. I do believe there are a lot of people in journalism who are gaming journalism might not have been their number one forte. They just have a journalism degree and they fell into it, right? That's why we get journalists.
It's a job.
Can't get past the tutorial in Cuphead, right? Because like, hey, I went to school for such and such journalism and I couldn't get a job at the Washington Post, but I got a job at GameSpot, right? There are a lot of people that just kind of fell into it because they went to school for journalism and they couldn't get a job at the Washington Post, so they get a job in gaming, right? That does happen. So I get credit.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of Iron Lords, Level 1 Gaming. Like you have sites like that. It's just some of these bigger ones.
I don't consider them journalists, and I mean that with respect. I mean that in a good way. Like I don't look at I haven't spent much time at Level 1, but Iron Lords I do, and I'm just kind of like, I'm not saying that like, oh, you're not good enough to be journalist. I mean, I consider them more opinion tastemakers and interesting analysis.
We don't call ourselves journalists.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And I don't think, and I work closely with them. I don't think they consider themselves journalists either.
Okay.
And
so what would be considered journalists?
I think IGN. I think Gene Park is an actual dyed-in-the-wool journalist.
Yes.
Jason Schreier, hate him or love him,
I hate him, but he's a real journalist.
I say hate him or love him. Jeff says hate him or hate him.
Oh, I hate him. I hate him. He's a piece of shit. He's a little piece of shit.
Oh man. Yeah,
in my opinion, I'm not saying he's literally a piece of shit, so you can't sue me for libel or slander. Slander. I'm not saying you literally are a piece of fecal paste, Jason. What I'm saying is, metaphorically, you're a little piece of shit. Okay.
And he looked him in his eyes and said that.
Goddamn right. You goddamn right I did.
With his chest, bro.
And I'll do it again.
With his fucking chest.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you, Mo De La Garza, for that. I do have one question from Level 1 Gaming for you, Jaffe, before we head out of here.
Yeah.
He says, the man you're sitting next to.
I was gonna say, in that Level 1 Gaming?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's me.
You got some fucking food in your mouth? You can't ask me the goddamn question?
Go ahead. You ask it
earlier, so I wouldn't forget it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just kidding.
In your honest opinion.
Yeah.
Fight to the death. Who wins? Your Kratos or 2018's Kratos?
Oh God, my Kratos in a heartbeat. That doesn't mean he's better or worse. That just means he has no limits. Right? The new one is in so many ways a better person because he would allow his he functions with way more than just his lizard brain. Whereas I think the original Kratos, there's not a lot there that you could say is like a human that's home half the time. He's just kind of like a force of nature. So it's kind of like, who would win in a fight, Ted Bundy or, Jason from Friday the 13th movies? Well, Jason would, because he's not human almost. He's a force of nature. But I think, if you had like a poetry reading, probably Corey's would win.
Poetry reading.
Which one would his therapist enjoy more? Probably Corey's. That's fine.
Oh my gosh, bro. But yeah, they're
and
both.
By the way, last thing, if you don't mind, I'm gonna let you know right now, Jaffe. Black people, we do claim Kratos as one of ours. He just
we do.
So I don't know if you ever heard that, but we've always claimed your
I've heard a number of people ask me what his race is, and I'm like, his actual character race is Hollywood ancient Greek, which means there's nothing researched about it. I'm like, he was in ancient Greece. In the movies, those guys always have kind of olive skin. I don't know if it's because of race thing or because they're in the sun, but make them look like the movies, right? I mean, that's literally as much as I thought about it. And then it was, voiced in both times by a black dude, motion captured now by a black dude. So, sure. Hell, at that point, you want to fucking, let's just make him a black dude. Let's make him let's have him own it, and let's have him go into a time machine and send him back to like Django Unchained time. And have
let's do it, baby.
Django, come on, man, that would be the shit.
Yes.
Let's do it.
That'd be cool.
Waters.
What were those?
Mark,
What
that's not
were
chain,
what were
baby.
the brothers that he first went after? The something brothers that were that movie's crazy.
God dang it.
But yeah, man, I'm you guys want to say he's a black dude? Fine, he's a black dude. It's been decided. It's canon.
We got it.
Ship it.
Hey, can y'all imagine in the trailer of that movie that y'all talking about, where you have the slave owner say, "Hey, boy," and then you see the back of Kratos,
right.
and Kratos turns around and like, "Who you calling, boy?"
That's right. That'd be great.
Bro, somebody make it happen.
And I don't want to hear any fucking white racist come and going. No, I'll tell you what. In America, if we can't get reparations for black folks, we can at least give them Kratos. Stop being a bitch.
Hey, listen.
Let's go.
Listen.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen to him.
Hey, I'm
I'm
clipping this
California
shit.
though, right? So I was voting for it, but people don't want to do it. People
Listen.
don't want to do it.
I'm going to GameStop for no fucking reason. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
sure it's packed, and I'm gonna say Kratos is black, and I'm like, because David Jaffe said so.
You're goddamn
And I
right.
was like, I got the clip.
and as soon as Christopher Judge gets tired of the role, it's going to Sam Jackson. That's the way it's going to be.
Yes.
Bruh.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
That would be so awesome.
That would be
awesome.
awesome.
So Jaffe, before we go out for introductions, I like to ask, some of our bigger guests that are here. Last week we had Khalif on, and then before that Paris. And there's so many niches within the gaming industry. Yours happens to be game direction,
Design.
game developing, designer, and stuff, right?
It was. I mean, I don't do that anymore.
It was right, but I know the industry's changed a lot. But if you had any advice for anybody listening right now on how to get into the industry, I kind of already think I know what you're going to say. As far
Tell
as
me
like
what you think I'm going to say.
There's tools already available to you with
Yep.
Unreal, Unity, Roblox. Start there. But like outside of that,
Start there and maybe stay there. What I would
Okay.
say is to go into AAA. I've said this over and over and over. To go into AAA at this point as a cog in the machine, you mostly got to be a fucking idiot. When you see the number of layoffs that have happened, and I'm not saying layoffs aren't happening all over, but it's very unstable. All the big companies are, for the most part, public, which means they have to answer to no one other than their stockholders and the law for the most part. And stockholders probably come first, they can get away with it. And in that, you will be treated as such. And it's just getting worse and worse as the budgets go up and up and up. So if you're like, yeah, man, but I just want to do really cool particle effects and I want to make a good living at it, and I'm willing to move all over the country, possibly world, and get great health insurance. And maybe I won't be at Sony for 20 years, but I can be there for 5 years and I can go over to EA. Okay. If that's really what you're cool with, then I would say, build a portfolio like anyone else. All of these tools and how to use them are available on the internet. Put together a reel and go. But if you want to be the next Neil Druckmann, Corey Barlog, Ken Levine, and you have something to express, don't go AAA. Get a fucking job you can tolerate that lets you get out of work at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They don't call you on weekends, and learn Unity or Roblox or Unreal Engine for Fortnite or just Unreal. Find a handful of people that agree with your vision. Make sure you've got all the work sorted so people are treated fairly and people don't feel, taken advantage of, and then go make your shit. You don't even need a couple of people. I mean, because then, look at all the games that go. I'm not saying there's a guarantee of success, but there's probably a guarantee of happiness. If you genuinely enjoy making the work and putting your games out there, you may never have more than 10,000 people that play your shit, but they'll love it and you'll be able to make what you want. And maybe it'll get better than that. You'll be able to make a real living at it. But that's what I would say, because if you really want to be the voice and the creator and the person who's really putting their vision out there, the last thing you want to do is throw yourself into a giant fucking machine that is AAA and have to wait your turn for 10 or 15 years. And then 10 years go by and you're about to get your turn and they lay everybody off. And it's got nothing to do with you or what you did or your skill. It's some fucking numbers that got decided in Japan and your division's cut, go fuck yourself. No.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Okay. And hopefully they fucking unionize as
Yeah, it's not.
quickly as
That's
possible,
never
man.
going to happen. Never. Gonna
Never.
happen. Because ask yourself, why would it? That's what I keep saying. I would love them to unionize.
Yeah.
But what it would take is the guys and girls who are making well over $180,000 a year and bonuses, and sometimes more than that, depending on the deal they've made, to go, you know what? Nope, I'm going to throw in with the QA guys that are, again, kind of like a lot of these journalists living in a one bedroom with 3 guys crammed into a room because they can't afford to pay the living rate where they are. And it's like, I'm going to throw in with those guys and the juniors, and I'm going to risk all of my shit. They're not going to do that. They're just not. I mean, unless they do, which would be great. But I mean, ask yourself, do we live in a country where we're going to see a lot of people who would sacrifice their own financial kick for, the greater good? I don't think so, but no, see, Serve in the chat says ZeniMax unionized. Again, you guys got to read the articles more carefully. QA unionized, right? And QA is incredibly valuable. You don't ship a game without QA, okay? But out of everybody on the team, short of the person who comes in and waters the plants, they're the easiest group to replace. And that doesn't mean that they're worthless, and that doesn't mean there aren't some. I started in QA. It doesn't mean there aren't people there that have the potential and they're on the track to really rise in the ranks, maybe run the whole fucking deal. But in terms of getting people to test the games, you can outsource that all over the world. There's a gajillion people willing to come in and take your place. So yeah, you can unionize. That doesn't guarantee that you're not going to get thrown out the instant that the company says you're not the cup of tea we want to drink anymore. So just be aware when people say, oh, they're unionizing. Unionizing is fine, but look who's in the union. I keep waiting for like a real group of above the line programmers, producers, senior artists, animators, designers to be in that union. That's what I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I agree. And then like with the QA, the AI bot's going to take over that soon or whatever. We fuck yeah. Can you imagine? That's going to be great. I mean, again, not for people. I want universal base income. Capitalism is a horrible fucking thing the way we do it in America right now. It needs more regulation. I'm not saying fuck people, AI is great, but ultimately, practically, the idea of being able to run your game through a fucking computer and go, what are the bugs? Yep. Versus,
I don't know why I keep falling out of the level in Ghost Tsushima in this wheat field. Let's throw 5 guys at it. We gotta go gold in a month. It's like just to ask the computer to tell us what's going on. Oh, okay. You got this weird collision problem because when he's carrying that particular sword, the guy who put the last update in made that collision a little longer and it's clipping into the ground and it causes what I'm saying? It's just just tell me why it's breaking. I mean, it's not that easy, but yeah, I'm with you.
I got you. No, thank you. You dropped some bars there, man.
I like to talk. Have you noticed? Yeah. I like to express myself with words. Speaking of, come over to my channel when you're done watching these fine channels that you see represented here on your screen sometime. It's David Jaffe Games on YouTube, or find me on Twitter. We do shows all the time. We have naked ladies come on. We talk about... Oh, yeah. We talk about games and all kinds of things. But thanks for having me on, fellas. It was a lot of fun. I hope you had a good time.
No, I did. And thank you again for coming on, man, taking some time out of your day.
Anytime.
It was great. Fame.
Tell
you a mod on here, so you can drop your link in the chat. But tell these fine folks where they can find you.
Full Diddy. Listen,
Full Diddy, baby.
Full Diddy, man. I don't like to advertise myself, but that's my handle on the screen. But man, LV1 Gaming, LV1Gaming.com, on YouTube, LV1 Gaming 20. You see that big ass bird? That's us. I might piss people off on social media sometimes, but it'd be okay. It is what it is. But yeah, man, we do a live show every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. I would love to get this crew onto my show, including you, Jaffe, man. It'd be dope to have you on, man.
Cool.
We do a show every Wednesday, 6 p.m. CST. We like to have a good time, man. We don't really dive into technical stuff, man. We just want to make you laugh. We want to crack up, talk some shit. My ladies can rock with the best of them. They got right hooks and left jabs like you never seen before. And we want to have a good time, man. So I just want to shout out to you guys, man, for inviting me on. It was all love, man. Y'all got a hell of a thing going here, and I can't wait till next time.
Thank you so much, man. Before I get to you, Scale, let me just get some of these super chats really quick. Spartan 661 gifted 1 Longhouse Gaming Podcast membership, bruh. You the man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
And then Lutrons, $20.
Hey.
He said, "I'm out, bros. Thanks for bringing us here, Jaffe. Good show." That's one of yours, Jaffe.
He never pays me shit, that guy. That's fine. That's okay. I know he's secretly masturbating right now watching this fucking show. So.
He wanted to see these lips get to work on this horn. That's what he wanted.
Great. Get ready. Wait a minute. Lutron, you ready? You ready? Now. Do it now. Blow it now.
Oh, that was horrible. Hold on.
You just made a 300-pound fat man in Philadelphia come all over his mom's bedroom.
Jesus.
I'm just I'm giving you the facts. I didn't make that up. That's what he's doing right now.
He's blowing his load. All right, let me get this correct. Hold on. All right.
Okay.
Oh, I got to get it out again. Fuck. Hold on. Lutrons, thank you. And then Spartan 661 also gifted 5 Longhouse Gaming Podcast memberships.
Damn.
God damn, boy.
Yeah.
There we go. Spartan 661 is for you, baby. Perfect. At least in my ears, it sounds perfect. I don't know what it sounds like.
Hey, how long do they ever ask you to come back, Supernova, to SNL or no?
To SNL, who you gonna say I look like?
Damn.
Come on, you don't know, you don't get it every day of your life.
Kanye, I get Kanye all the time.
No, hell no, not Kanye. Come on, see if the chat can figure out who he looks like. Don't. No one has told you look. I'm not going to say it. All right, sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead, say it.
I want to see if anybody else can say it.
Say it.
I want to see if I'm in the. I don't want to spoil anything. So if I say it, then people will say, "Oh yeah." I want to see if anybody else in the chat is like, "Oh yeah, there you go, Darth Nugget." Tim Meadows, you goddamn right.
Tim Meadows.
What is Tim Meadows?
Tim Meadows.
Who's Tim Meadows?
Seriously.
God damn.
Oh.
Did you Google him? Did you Google him?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I Googled.
Am I right?
I actually like him as an actor, though. He's
to be
mad
honest,
funny for sure.
Hey,
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
he's
even
great.
mad at it because I get so many.
Why would you be
people
mad at it?
every
Tim Meadows
I'm
is
not. I'm
great.
not. Hey,
Oh, good.
It is what it is.
I've never made that connection.
Bro, I done had so many. I've been told that I look like so many people. I'm used to it now, man. So I'll take Tim Meadows.
I get Rick Moranis. Consider yourself lucky, all right? I don't even know why I get Rick fucking Moranis. The Honey I Shrunk the Kids guy? That guy, Rick? All right, fine.
That's funny as hell. And then we got Splendiferous. Old Jaffe likes to talk that shit, man. Don't change a damn thing. Yeah, don't change Jaffe.
I couldn't if I wanted to. Trust me,
Yeah.
I've tried.
Listen, he made Kratos black, so he can't change. He's
Yeah,
stuck
he
with
can't
it.
change, bro. It's
Yeah.
canon. Fucking
Right.
canon. I'm about to send that to all. I'm about to send that to Insider Gaming. I'm about to
Send
send
it, all,
that to.
send it to Corey.
Dude, I
Tell
tweeted. I
Corey to
can't wait
wake
to
up.
tweet it.
It's a new day, bitch. The chickens are coming home to roost. Kratos is a black man, and Atreus is a little adopted boy. I don't know where he came from.
Hey, Atreus is just bright skin. That's all.
It's
Yeah,
just bright skin,
that's
bro.
right, yeah.
That's right. All right, Scale, man. Tell these fine folks where they can find you at, man.
What's up? I go by BLAQQ SKELLINGTON with 2 Qs. You can find me on YouTube streaming Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow we're going to be on the X Defiant. Like we said on Tuesday, it came out. They almost guaranteed it, and it's out. So there it is. I'm going to be playing that tomorrow on my stream. Tune in. Fame and Jaffe, thank you very much for joining. I can't tell you, I'm very just blessed. I'll just say that. I think we're all just blessed to be here, and we really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for all the super chats. They all go to a great cause, and it's
Yes,
all
they
for the
do.
kids. So thank
Yep.
y'all.
Mhm.
Super dope, man. Working for free this year, baby. Supernova.
Yes, sir.
Tell these fine folks where they can find you, man.
I go by Supernova. You can find me on Twitter. You can also find me on SNL. You know what I'm saying? I go by my alias Tim Meadows. You feel me?
Go.
But no, shout out to Fame and Jaffe for coming through, man. Really appreciate it. Appreciate your takes for real, man, because you guys were dropping some gems today. I know Fame said you were let me get off my soapbox, but no, man, you were killing it, man. So appreciate both of y'all coming out.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate everybody that came through in the chat. Some of our people that we've seen, you know, before, some of the people we haven't seen before, man. Thank you for all of you guys coming out and donating to a good cause, man. And enjoy the rest of your Thursday after you leave here, man. And just like Jaffe said, go check out some of his content. And then when you're done with that, go check out Level 1, man. Enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm. I piggyback on that. Both of these fine fellas, Fame, like your whole crew, man. Baron, Tree Hugger, all of them, bro. Good work. Jaffe, your shit's hilarious, man. I love watching. I really like it whenever you start talking politics. Like, I really fuck with you on that level. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, come on the show. Let's talk politics.
For real?
No. Yeah, for real.
All right, fuck it.
Bring Tim with you, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only problem with us talking, I assume we probably are mostly aligned politically, but maybe not. Maybe not.
I live in Oklahoma, Texas area, and I get called a left-wing loon. So yeah,
I was born and raised in Alabama, and I got the fuck out of there as soon as I could.
What's up? What's up, Fame?
My boy, you down here in Texas?
No, on the border. But Dallas is only 3 hours away.
We got to make it happen. We got to make it happen.
We are.
Not that I hate Alabama. I love it, but it's kind of racist and it's kind of backwards in some ways, in a lot of ways. But yeah, so I call myself the leftist loon or a progress. Let's just say I'm the most progressive motherfucker you know. That's what I always say.
Okay.
And I think it's probably true. To the point that it's like mentally damaged in my case. You know, 8-year-old wants to drive a car. Fuck it. I don't care. I
have to push back on that shit. Oh man. But yeah, thank both of y'all for coming on, man. I'd love to have y'all on sometime later on in the year too. Fame, hit us up. We'll make it happen for us to come on your show. Sure. And I'll hit you up, Jaffe, too. If you want to talk some
I'm around.
politics,
Absolutely.
Man. Hell 100%. Yeah. As for me, y'all know where to find me. I'm on Twitter most of the time. I don't think I really, but besides everybody showing love today, all the new people here, y'all hit that like button and subscribe if y'all can. And everybody who just, you know, donated for the kids, man. I'm just so excited and shocked by the end of every fucking episode that we do. We only started in December, guys, and this is fucking crazy to me. Doing this shit. So we love it. We got a good crew. Scale, Nova, they fucking kill it every fucking week. And I couldn't ask for two better co-hosts, man. I couldn't ask for a better team. We the shit. But with that said, man, I will see y'all motherfuckers later. I can't forget. I gotta throw up that set for the homies, cuz you feel me?